Hello and welcome, everybody, boys and girls. Welcome at the broadcast of the Superleague Lights race here at China. I'm very sorry for the delay we had. We had some technical difficulties, but we're now on air, and it's just after the quali. So yeah. So we will start the race soon, but pole position is for Alessandro Quintai in his Pescara racing car, with championship leader Matthew Williams in second position, and Michael Ayres for 86E Racing in third position. We will tell you more about the rest of the grid soon, but we're going to look at a bit of the warm up to actually show you some images. So very sorry for the bit of delay, but we're still in time for the race, so that's good. We currently have got 29 out of the 30 drivers on the grid. I believe we're waiting for one more to join after qualifying. But more on that later. So the grid was quite packed. We had the first 25 drivers within a second of poles. That's really interesting and really good from all the drivers. And it will be an exciting race for sure here in China. So last week we had the Super Cup and the Formula Challenge races here. And they actually provided quite good battling and really good racing. I think in Superleague Lights we will see more of that. Those cars are a bit slower than the Lights car, and it will be a bit different to see how fast those cars will be going on the straight, and what kind of strategies all the teams and all the drivers came up with. Because I know for sure a lot of drivers and teams tested a lot of possible strategies. Also, 2 weeks ago, we saw that there were quite a lot of engines. I believe 6 engines did blow up, and people DNF because of that. And I think a lot of teams put effort in not to make that happen again. So, all by all, I think a very good and interesting race ahead. So we're now starting the warm-up. And now for the teams, it's interesting to do one more check with the race fuel, how everything feels with a heavier car, and maybe do some starting practice. So yeah, let's go for some live footage. So I believe we've got some small technical difficulties still. So we want to try to solve it. So we're going for a slight break. Hopefully we can sort the problems and still give you the amazing Super League Lights race. So, you know. And we're back for the broadcast of the Superleague Lights race here in China. I believe everything is working now. We had a lot of delay, but we're really close to the start of the Superleague Lights race, and I think it can start like at this moment. We can go to the race session. So let's see if we now have the 30 drivers in. Yes, so we had one extra driver who joined, and I believe that was April Kalsford, who then will start from the back of the grid because she didn't do qualifying. So 15 teams will go for points positions and of course better. And we're now waiting for the start grid. We're waiting for it, and yeah, I hope I can at least see everything what's happening on my own in the race. So I only got one pair of eyes, so I will try my very best to really make everything happen. But I think we've got quite a good race in front of us of 46 laps plus a formation lap. And let's see how many people will have problems at the beginning of the race. If we will see some incidents, we'll also find that out soon. See the cars now line up. I believe they got around a minute to join the grid. And there we go for the start of the formation lap. And we will give you the starting grid in a moment. So there we have it. It's Alessandro Quintai in first position with Jukka-Pekka Lalu in second, Matthew Williams in third, and Michael Ayers in fourth position. In 5th position, we've got Dino Paulini with Wopke Hoekstra in P6, with Thomas Harvey in 7th and Martin Hemmingsen in P8. 9th position will be for Matteo Kiersmakers with Omari Watson in 10th, with Deegan Fairclough in 11th and Mateusz Zubinski in 12th. 13th position is for Janis Rolborn, with 14th position for George Whitehouse. Douwe Tapper is in 17th position is for Jack Mayer, while Frank Hamming is in 18th, Jon Lindberg in 19th and Mateusz Dabrowski in 20th position. 21st position is for Ivan Leonov with Giuseppe Saracino in 22nd position, Sandeep Singh in 23rd and Heigo Poom in 24th. 25th is for Pascal Polens, Tobias Olsen in 26th with James Lambert in 27 and Jan Ternak Hark in 28th. 29th position will be for Guglielmo Matti and the last position will be for April Karlsbad because he didn't participate in the qualifying session, so she will start in last position. So like I said before, 46 laps race. It will be quite an interesting race on strategy. Also because we've got a quite long sector 3 with a long straight, we shall see if with the DRS we will see some overtaking there, but let's see what all the teams lay on the table in terms of strategy, but also on ultimate race pace, because pace over 1 lap is of course always very handy, but a race pace is even more important, and also tire management. So the cars are nearly ready. You see the drivers now lined up. We actually saw Alessandro Quintana overshoot his grid slot, but he put it in reverse. So waiting for the last cars to get on the grid. The last car that will be on the grid is Guglielmo Matti, because April Karlsbad will start from the pits. So they're now all standing, waiting for the lights to go on, and then we will be go. Oh, I believe also Sandeep Singh is starting from the pits as well, so we will keep an eye on them. But you see the lights go on, 3, 4, 5 lights, and who will have the best start? Let's see. I think it's all status quo into the first corner. It's Alessandro Quintana who leads. And then it's Jukka-Pekka Lalo in second. Oh, we've got a challenge for P3. It's Michael Ayres who tries to go for P3 and actually does a bit of wheel banging with Matthew Williams. So it's Michael Ayres now in P3. Matthew Williams back to 4th, but he's trying to attack for P3 on Michael Ayres. Can the Stax driver, can he do that, or will he take a bit of time? Oh, took a very aggressive move. But he actually got it back, and now Michael Ayres, who now lost out of that, he's now in P4. Well, I believe Wopke Hoekstra with quite a good start from P6 to P5. And do we have some drama in the back? I believe we don't have any damage so far. So we're waiting for it. So the Pescara car of Alessandro Quintana leads the race now. But Jukka-Pekka Lalo is of course still very close, and look at how racy Matthew Williams is. Matthew Williams had not as good as a start as Michael Ayres, but it just looked like that he has the aggressiveness to at least take back the position. And there we're going for the big braking zone here. Do we see some overtakes? I believe it's quite good. I've got Mateusz Zubinski overtaking Douwe Tapper, I believe, for P11. No big drama at the first lap, I believe. No, everybody is still driving. And with 1 lap completed, it's Alessandro Quintana now still in first position. I believe it's Martin Hemmingsen now in 6th position. If I remember it correctly, he qualified in P8, so I'm not 100% sure. So I believe he actually gained places after the start, or at least he didn't lose anything. All the cars are really close, and yeah, it's waiting for the DRS to open at the end of or at the beginning of lap 3 when they can use that, and it will be very interesting on the main or on the back straight if that will actually trigger some overtaking spots. But look at Alessandro Quintai. I think he is pushing really hard to make sure that when DRS is available, that well, the guy behind him, Jukka Pekka-Laulu, can't use it by then. So I think they're all pushing hard to get out of the DRS zone. I believe we had also one car smoking at the grid, and I believe that was Omari Watson, or at least the team from V12 Crossfire, but no problems at the moment with those engines. Everything seems to be working fine. Well, we've got April Cosford actually coming into the pits now, so I'm not sure what happened there. This is too early for Shetu to stop. He's going in for a pit stop, or will he actually retire the car? Will be interesting what will happen. Oh, she drives into the pit box, so that's end of the race for April Cosford. So that's a big shame, but I guess she wanted to save the engine for another time. So yeah, she took the start, and yeah, well, didn't get better quite. A bad start, of course, also because she started from the pits, and she is her first retirement, unfortunately. We're now looking at Jukka Pekka-Laulu, and yeah, the DRS is now activated. So will we see some overtaking maneuvers? Now I think the field now is actually quite spread out. At least the top guys are. Some other drivers are still quite close, but I don't see a lot of overtaking happening on the back straight. So now it's a bit waiting until yeah, something interesting happens in the race. So you can now see our top 10 and well, actually the positions on the right of your or left of your screen. So you can see who were the biggest gainer in the last few laps, or the biggest losers of positions. But at least at front, it's a bit of a waiting game. And yeah, I think it's very surprising to see Jukka Pekka-Laulu in second position. He really showed that yeah, he can put a good lap in, and yeah, he can follow Alessandro Quintai quite well. But of course, you don't know what his tire wear now is. How late will he pit? That's a thing for later. Actually, Matthew Williams can't follow that good. So is he already tire saving? That's the question. Michael Ayers is also not as fast as the top guys. I think that's the strategy. You can go flat out with your car and with the tires hope that they will still last, or you go into, at least at the beginning of the stint, you go a bit slower and just manage the tires, then later in the stint you try to push a bit harder. Well, I believe Martin Hamilton is getting quite close to Wopke Hoekstra. Well, I believe we also saw a mistake from one of the cars from V12 Crossfire. Yeah, it's Deegan Fairclough, and Deegan Fairclough now is in the pits. So will that be a pit stop? It is really early for this pit stop. Yeah, lap 4 is far too early, and yeah, I believe there is damage at the car of Deegan. But He's actually now driving again, so let's see if he can do something with an alternative strategy. We will keep that in mind and follow him later. Well, we're also going to look at lap times. If they tell us something, maybe somebody is going faster now. I believe the top 2 is a bit faster than Matthew Williams in P3. And actually, now we've got an overtake for P5. It's Martin Hemmingsen who overtakes Wopke Hoekstra for fourth position. And I think Martin wants to drive towards Michael Ayers and Matthew Williams as soon as he can, because if he can get in that DRS, it will of course benefit him as well. In P7 we now have got Thomas Harvey. Can he get past Wopke Hoekstra, or will Wopke Hoekstra still have enough speed to stay in front? We will see that later. So we had Deegan pitting in lap 4, which is far too early for a scheduled stop, of course. But I believe the first scheduled stop could be around lap 9 or lap 10. That could potentially be something you can do if you are on I believe, a 3-stop strategy from what I've heard. While going to the front again, Luca Peccalalu got really close to Alessandro Quintai on the braking, but the exits are still good from Alessandro, and he can at least hold off the Royal Blue driver for now. And now you see Matthew Williams is actually gaining on those two, so actually backed off for a lap or two, and now he is actually driving a bit towards those, and that's a strategy you can do with the tires, so it's interesting. But the top 4 look a bit faster now than Martin Hemmingsen. Can Martin Hemmingsen, can he get into that group? That would be his main priority, but of course they drive really fast at the front. We will keep an eye out. Also keep an eye out on Deegan Fluiklaw's lap time, and I believe his lap time is one of the fastest lap times currently on track. Of course he's got clear air after his pit stop, but I think that shows that there is still something possible for him in this race, and hopefully he can do a lot of those lap times. A lot of the cars are already on the back straight. Got quite close to Matthew Williams there, but they can't attack for now. actually a very interesting group of cars is forming now. I think it starts with Bob Hoekstra and Thomas Harvey, and then Dino Paulini, Matteo Kiersmakers, Omari Watson, and Matteo Subinski are all very close, with our Trapper actually trying to drive towards this group. But the DRS doesn't help any of them, because I don't see any passing of positions. No, not yet. So the top four drivers of this race still they're all using the DRS, apart from the leader, of course. So that shows that they are, I think, still close to each other. And I believe Martin Hemmingsen is losing ground, and I believe that is because he's not in DRS, so he will lose some lap time over the whole whole laps. And that will happen all the laps. And all the guys in front, the top four guys, they are just like driving a bit away with the DRS. It gives you like, I think, 10 kilometers an hour more top speed, and that's what they can use in lap time. And it's difficult for Martin to follow this the group. And actually, Bob Hoekstra is still quite close. I would say around the second still. So I believe he can use DRS still. We shall see in a moment if he can. No, Bob Hoekstra can't use DRS, so he's not too far back. Well, I just got confirmation that April Cosworth retired because of wheel issues. So she had some problem, and the race wasn't long for her, fortunately. And mechanical failures will happen on the car, but also with steering wheels. So that unfortunately forced her out. But next time. I'm sure she will show us that she can drive a really good race again. Some guys are really close again, but I believe Jukka Pekka-Laulu, he can't find the drive out of those corners, and he cannot go fast enough on the straights to go for an overtake. Well, he's not actually going very fast on the straights. Will he then go for it? No, he's waiting for it. He didn't want to do the overtake. He just closed his DRS, even, I believe, before braking. And I believe we got a second car retiring. Yes, it's Mateusz Dabrowski, who I believe he crashed out of the race. Let me see what happened here. Myself. Yeah, I believe in the sector 2 he lost the control, and unfortunately he spun out. So our second retirement is one of the PLS Hyperion cars. So we've got 28 cars left in this race. Shame for him that he's out. So we're now on lap 10 out of 46, and I believe the first signs of a bit of wear on the red tires. People who start on the red tires will now definitely feel a bit of problems with the tires. It will all be a little bit worse than the initial grip he had at the start. So I think the real game starts here. Who was the nicest on the car? Who was the nicest on the tires? We shall see soon. Well, Alessandro Quintai actually went a bit more defensive now. So does he feel that now it's the time for actually hold position a bit more and actually being more aggressive towards others? Well, we've got somebody in, and that's Michael Ayres. Michael Ayres pits really early, and I believe also Martin Hemmingsen is in, and this is really interesting because if they can, and Jack Mayer is also in, if they can drive much faster than the other drivers, they've got free air, then they can potentially do an undercut, and let's look into that. And I'm now looking where Michael Ayres comes out, and I believe you can already see it. There is not a lot of traffic, at least not for the next 2 laps. So maybe they now can actually make the undercut work. But, of course, the leaders will try very hard now to make everything work and get everything out of the tires. Prix is still the same as after the end of lap 1. But Wopke Hoekstra is actually dropping back in pace. I believe Dino Polini already passed him. Oh, we've got another passer for the lead. It's for the lead. Jukka Pekka takes the lead or not? No, he's still the other way. Oh, and they go in. Top 2 goes in, but Matthew Williams isn't in. Oh, this will be very interesting. Can Alessandro Quintai, can Jukka-Pekka Lalu? They did 1 lap more than Michael Ayres. Is this the winning lap or the losing lap? No. But we've got a crash, a big crash, and it is, I believe, Mateusz Zubinski who is out. With who did he crash? I'm not sure. I think with Douwe Tapper. Oh, and both cars are out of the race. Oh, really big drama. I cannot believe what happened there, because that was a really big crash. Let's actually go back to see where the guys came out. Yes, and Michael Ayres jumped Alexander Quintai and Jukka-Pekka Lalu, so that 1 lap pitting earlier actually gave him a lot of time and a few positions after everybody makes the pit stop. So that's an interesting call. But can Michael Ayres, can he keep the tires right? But getting back on the crash from Douwe Trapper and Mateusz Zubinski, I think what happened is that they both wanted to go to the pits, and they just they just hit each other there. I wanted to see it actually back for myself. Let's see. Yeah, I believe they both wanted to go in, and they fought for the same part of the track, which actually was going into the pits, and now with the hard crash, they're now both out. So shame for Team PLS, because they are now out with both of the cars already. We've got Omari Watson in and Matthew Williams, but what will Matthew Williams do in relation to the others? And I believe he lost a lot of time. Yeah, Matthew Williams lost a lot of time. He came back out after Jukka-Pekka Lalu. Actually, he was behind Lalu before, but it looked, he didn't actually lose that much on Jukka-Pekka Lalu, I would say, Matthew Williams, but on Quintai and on Michael Ayres, he lost a lot. So Michael Ayres actually did a very interesting strategy pitting earlier, but will he need to pay for this tire gamble at the end of the race, because I fear he needs to do 1 or 2 laps more on another set of tires. So we will keep that in mind. So we now got Dino Paolini leading with Thomas Harvey in second, George Whitehouse in third, Pascal Smith in fourth, with Frank Hamming now in P5. And let's see who is going into the pits now. Yes, it's Dino Paolini is now coming in, and Thomas Harvey as well. What will the others do? Will George Whitehouse go in? No, George Whitehouse will continue, Pascal Smith will continue, and Frank Hamming as well. So that will make that Michael Ayers now is in fourth position and actually sees the top 3 driving. We now see Tobias also in P5, with Alessandro Guitai pushing for that position. Dino Paolini now came out, rejoined the race in 11th, while there's a big group from P11 to P15, and Thomas Harvey rejoined the race as 14th. I needed to do some research, but I believe we now already have Michael Ayers now in third position in the race. He just overtook Hamming. So very interesting what Whitehouse, Smith and Hamming are doing. They're actually going very long on the first stint, which is of course a choice you can make. Well, Michael Ayers is actually driving really fast because he's now already in P2. So he did 2 overtaking moves in a few corners, but his tires are of course nearly new, while George Whitehouse, he now is approaching, is on very worn yellow tires. So Michael Ayers now actually overtaking for the lead, and he did that. So that looks very quick from him, and look how easy he is actually pulling away from the other guys who are yet to pit. That's what a new set of tires can do pace-wise. But going for the alternative strategy for like George Whitehouse or Pascal Smith and Frank Hamming can actually work out at the later stages of the race. So we shall see what happens there, while Pascal Smith and Frank Hamming are now into the pit, and let's see where they rejoin. And let me see where they went back to. So Pascal Smith rejoined the race in 16th, and Frank Hamming in P18th. So you would say that's not like a point scoring position, but I think the weapon for Frank Hamming and for Pascal Smith lies in the fact that they are yeah, much better on tires now, and yeah, actually do an alternative strategy, which in some cases can work, but yeah, we don't know that for now. It's also time for me to look into the lap times. If I judge the lap times of Michael Ayers, he's actually pushing really hard at the moment. Will he be on a three-stop strategy? This could very well be. Got the feeling that maybe everybody behind Michael Ayers is on a two-stop strategy, because Michael is actually going a lot faster after the pit stop. Well, we now have got Alessandro Quintai in second, Matthew Williams in P3, Jukka-Pekka Lalu is now actually dropping back a bit. I believe he was well, in P3 before, but now in actually P2. But after the pit stop, he doesn't have the pace at this moment of the race. Could be that his pace on the yellow tires isn't as good as on the red tires. Or maybe he is saving the tires for later in the stint. That's difficult to say as a commentator or as a viewer for you at home. I believe we have an overtake from P18. Jorn Lindberg just passed. I believe it was Jannis Wolborn. And actually, Jannis Wolborn got back on Jorn Lindberg and now got past. Waiting a bit. And Matthew Williams is actually trying to look if he can get past Alessandro Quintai. Matthew Williams looks quite cool and calm and just, yeah, waiting for the long game and just trying just to make sure that, yeah, he's there in the end. But it's quite impressive what he shows pace-wise, because after the pit stop, I believe Alessandro Quintai was quite a bit ahead, and Matthew Williams is now already less than a second behind him. So shows that speed is there. Matthew Williams might be trying it. He's now on the back straight. Will he have enough speed to overtake Quintai? Will Alessandro Quintai, will he defend? But he thinks about it, but he doesn't do it. Oh, and Matthew Williams actually outbrakes himself and actually goes wide. And what does he lose? He loses quite a lot of time. And can Matthew Williams then stay within this, the DRS second? Oh, there's quite a big mistake from Matthew Williams. It looks all quite relaxed from him, but just still misbraked, and that actually cost him quite a lot, more than he would have liked to. So let me see, what's the current gap between Michael Ayers and Alessandro Quintai? So that's 6 seconds. So if Michael Ayers is doing an extra pit stop, which I suspect he could do, then of course 6 seconds is not enough with this quite long pit straight. But judging his lap times, he is actually pushing quite fast on this set of tires, so we'll see. So currently we've got 4 retirements. While we're going back to Matthew Williams, and actually he now has a cleaner overtake. Can he overtake? He's trying, Yes, he can. So Matthew Williams moves up to 2nd position. Alessandro Quintai now moving back to P3. Can Alessandro Quintai, can he follow with the speed of Matthew Williams? That's the question. Or is the speed that Matthew Williams currently have, is that a bit too much for Alessandro? I think it might be the second one, because I fear Matthew Williams is a bit faster, I think, over the last few laps, and I think for Alessandro it should be the aim to be in the DRS for as long as he can. We've got quite a close battle between Wopke Hoekstra and Matteo Keersmakers for P7. They were quite close in the braking zone, and now, yeah, it's a bit more spread out, but yeah, I hope they can finish in those positions, because it would mean a good point from Wopke and for Matteo. On the back straight again. Can Alessandro Quintai, can he then re-attack? Can he get the position back? No, it doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it, unfortunately for him. Matthew Williams is just a bit too far ahead after yeah, the DRS opened, and he couldn't get close enough. I checked a few things again, but look at something I checked is the current laps of Jukka-Pekka Lalu. He was quite far, I think, away from Alessandro Quintai and Matthew Williams, but I believe the last few laps he just went closer and closer and closer again to those two, and for now it might look that he's got more pace than Alessandro Quintai. So Jukka-Pekka Lalu, maybe he saved his tires at the beginning of the stint, and now he's trying to put in a bit more, yeah, more stressing them so he can get closer. Well, we've got a second pit stop for Michael Ayers, and let's see, this is lap 22. So he will definitely do one more pit stop. So he is definitely on a 3-stop strategy. And now he is moving to the yellow tires. So he did red at the start and another set of soft tires at his first pit stop. And now we'll go to yellow. Interesting strategy. Very interesting. And he rejoins in 11th position just behind Jack Mayer. And that makes it interesting because Jack Mayer is, of course, the teammate of Matthew Williams. Will Jack Mayer just make sure that that he holds him up a bit more, or will Michael Ayers just have like, yeah, his speed will be so big that even for Jack, he cannot help out his teammate in any other way. We will actually see that quite soon. believe Alessandro Quintai is now quite close to Matthew Williams. Will he go for the overtake back on Matthew Williams? He's trying it. He's outbraking him. Can he make the corner? Yes, he can. Alessandro Quintai goes back to the lead. Or back to lead. I believe he didn't have the lead, but now he has. Of course, he had a very good starting position, but he takes back the position. And this is, I think, really good news for Michael Ayers, because if those three, Quintai, Matthew Williams and Jukka-Pekka Lalo, if they battle, then yeah, Michael can just like put in laps. But we need to look into what Michael now can do. Will he have a bit of traffic in front? And I don't believe that's the case. So free air for Michael, and that could be a very good sign from him. Can I all remind you that the team he's driving for, 86 E-Racing, is now in their third race of their Superleague Lights campaign, and they didn't score any points as of now, so no top 15 results. Can Michael Ayers, can he at least give them the first points? But can he do more? Can he bring the car yeah, in the top 5 or even better? That's the question, and let's keep an eye on him now. Well, I believe, yeah, Alessandro Quintai actually drove away from Matthew Williams now, and Jukka-Pekka Lalo seems to be looking for a bit of a gap as well. Can he pass Matthew Williams? They're quite close to numbers 2, 3, and 4. Or sorry, the numbers 1, 2, and 3 now. And Martin Hemmingsen can't get closer to them, so he can still see the cars driving, but he's still too far away to do something against it. Now looking at the lap times, yes, and the lap times of Michael Ayers is now I believe 34.6, and that's nearly half a second to a second faster than what the guys do in front. So yeah, the strategies are now really going wild, and we get an answer soon. While we'll just cross the halfway point. So we've got still have 26 runners, which Jan Ternak Park now in 26th, nearly getting lapped. James Lambert in 25th, with Pascal Polens in 24th, Deegan Fairclough in 23rd, with Sandeep Singh, unfortunately for him, but yeah, P22 is not where he belongs. Guillermo Matti in 21st position, with Tobias Olsen in 20th, with Ivan Leonov in 19th, Janis Robert in 18th, Aiger Poom in 17th, George Whitehouse now in 16th, with Lindbergh in 15th, Frank Hamming in 14th, with the alternative strategy, with Pascal Speed 13th, 12th for Saracino, with Jack Mayer 11th, 10th for Michael Ayers now, but he's on, yeah, he's already had his second pit stop, with Omari Watson now in P9. And Omari Watson had a lot of bad luck the first 2 races. Let's hope he can get a good finishing position in the points. Let's just hope he can. Thomas Harvey now in 8th, with Bob Hoekstra in P7, with Matteo Keersmakers in a very good P6, with Dino Polini now in 5th, with Martin Hemmingsen in 4th, and then the top 3 with Jukka-Pekka Lalo in 3rd, Matthew Williams in 2nd, and Alessandro Quintai in 1st position. Will not be too long before Alessandro, Matthew, and Jukka-Pekka Lalo will go for their second pit stop. I think that will be around. Oh, and I believe you've got a spinner, and it's Michael Ayers who spun. Michael Ayers who spun. Oh, that's not good for the tires. Oh, that's not what he needed, because he looked really, really good. Oh, I was really small error from him, and he lost quite a little time, but also tire percentage. Oh, this was, I think, he was going well on his strategy, but this spin can ruin everything. So let's see where he did go back to. Yeah, only lost one position, but let's see what he did in lap time. How much did he lose there? Yes, he does a 142.9, so I fear for him he actually lost around 6 to 7 seconds there. Ooh, this is something he didn't want to happen, and it happened. Oh, I think this is really good news for the top 3 runners, who now can know that Michael is actually a bit behind now. The top 3 is still really close, like it's lap 1, but it's already lap 27, so they're really close. But when will they do the second stop? That's the question. Will there be somebody again who pitted like a lap early to do the undercut, or will we not see that? Top 3 will not pit, at least at this lap. But number 4, Martin Hemmingsen does, so that's very interesting. Martin Hemmingsen, who was driving, I think, around 4 seconds behind the group, is now actually pitting early. What is he going to do? Strategy-wise, I think it should be another set of softs. Oh, and he misses his grip box. So Martin Hemmingsen actually needed to go in reverse for a moment. Didn't lose too much time, and he goes to another set of the yellows. Where does he come out? Yeah, he comes out behind, let's see, George Whitehouse. So for him, this is P15 now for Martin Hemmingsen, but with his second pit stop. And I think Martin Hemmingsen can go to the end. So that's the interesting part. But can he actually now, with this risky longer strategy, can he actually gain time on the top 3? That's the question his team will ask themselves. Because if the top 3 will trip over each other before the pit stop, then there's always a chance for Martin to gain a lot of time. And we're now quite close to the second pit stop for the top 3. Will somebody go? No. All 3 are continuing. And what are the lap times? Yeah, 36.0. And I believe it's possible to go a lot faster. Oh, we've got Matteo Kiersmakers in as well. So he decided this is the lap I'm going to pit now. Oh, we've got another pitter, which is Jack Mayer. Jack Mayer also in the pits. Where can they come out to? Theo Kiersmakers comes out in, I believe, P16. Just behind Tobias Olsen and Ivan Leonov. We've got a crasher. We've got a crasher, I believe, at the front. I believe our race leader, Select Crunchai, actually collected somebody, but I believe he got away with it. Oh, I believe Jansen Hark spun over the curb and actually, yeah, nearly took out our leader, which was very unfortunate. Actually, he still has to win. Very interesting. And the numbers 2 and numbers 3 are in. Jukka-Pekka, Lalu, and Matthew Williams. And where will they come out in relation to Michael Ayres? And Michael Ayres passed, but not with as much, I think, as he had hoped. So Matthew Williams and Jukka-Pekka Lalu can definitely go to the end, while Michael Ayres at least needs to do one more pit stop. Let's wait for Alessandro Quintana to make his pit stop. I think that will be this lap. I'm pretty sure of it. Let's see. I've got a lot of things I need to look into, so that's why I'm a bit quiet at times. Let's see, what will Alessandro Quintana do? Will he go in? Yes, he will go in. But did he sustain damage of that hit with Jansen Hark? We will only know later. So we now will have Dino Paolini going to the lead. But what can Alessandro do? We've got Omari Watson in as well. And Alessandro is away. Can he stay in front of the other guys? There he goes. No! Matthew Williams overtakes Alessandro Quintana after the pit stops, but he got out ahead of Jukka-Pekka Lalu, and now it's getting even more interesting because Alessandro now has got one lap fresher tires, so to the end that will be very interesting. Frank Hamming rejoins the race as 19th, just in front of Deegan Verklo. So now we've got Dino Paolini leading the other Royal Blue. So yeah, Royal Blue is actually very interesting. They decided to go for two different strategies, and yeah, that is, I think, a good way to go. And waiting for him now to make his final pit stop, Dino. And he will then go to the soft tire. And actually, he's in now. So Dino Paolini now in. Will Thomas Harvey in P2? Will he follow? Yeah, he will follow as well. So it's now Michael Ayres again who leads, but not with enough to keep the lead when he needs to do another pit stop. So Dino Paolini now in his pit box. Well, we've got an overtake here for P3 and 4. Pascal Smith got past there. Oh, we've got a crasher in the pits. What happened here? I believe we had an issue in the pits. Oh yes, we had Thomas Harvey actually hitting Dino Paolini in the pits, and I believe they were stuck in each other. Oh, this Thomas Harvey and Dino Paolini lost a lot of time there. Ooh, this was interesting. Yeah, I believe Thomas Harvey was actually going for his spot, and then he needs to go actually around Dino, but exactly at that moment Dino wanted to drive away, so that they hit each other. And for both of them, a lot of time lost. And my question is there big damage on those cars? Because yeah, it can make the car a bit more unpredictable. Well, we now have got Michael Ayers leading in his beautiful black with, well, red and a little bit of yellow 86 e-racing car. A team that, yeah, wasn't happy after how it went in the first 2 rounds, and they really wanted to have points, the manager said to me. And yeah, they just said like, we can do so much better, but it didn't work for us now, and we need to have somebody with experience who can help us. And yeah, with Michael, at least for this race, they got that. And let's see what Michael can do in the end, because he definitely needs to pit one more time, or yeah, he needs to do a enormous long stint on those tires. But I believe he already pitted around 10 laps ago, and to do 14 more is then you will have no tire left. So definitely he needs to do one more pit stop. But behind there, Matthew Williams now in second and Alexander Quintai in P3. Alexander Quintai is quite close to Matthew Williams, so don't count him out for the race win yet. Moment in time, lost a lot of seconds on, well, yeah, at least a few on Alessandro Quintai and Matthew Williams. He can't follow at this part of the race. We've got James Lambert in for his second pit stop. Now got a good fight for P5. It's Jukka-Pekka Lalu and Pascal Smith. Pascal Smith on a slightly different strategy, but Jukka-Pekka Lalu cannot pass in this fast sector 2. Actually, I think he loses a lot of time behind Pascal Smith. But of course it's racing, and yeah, sometimes you're unlucky, and Pascal Smith is of course in his right to make his car as wide as he possibly could and can. But now for Jukka-Pekka it should be a relatively easy overtake with 8 of DRS. There he goes out of the slipstream. Actually he's not that fast, he cannot pass, but yeah, brakes much later and still got the overtake done. But yeah, the TTF racing car was actually pretty fast on the straight, even without DRS. So that was interesting to see. We're now on lap 35 out of 46. We now have got Jon Lindberg in P15. That would be very good for him if he can get that final point. Also Frank Hamming in P13, which would mean his first points of the season. So a lot of people are looking quite good after, a bit of problems in Melbourne and in Bahrain. Some guys are actually going to score some points. Also Jack Mayer now in P10. He had points 2 weeks ago, but a DC protest thingy actually made him lose the points. So I think Jack Mayer wants to make sure he gets points on the board for the team. With Omari Watson now in P10. He is also without any points at this moment. Well, we now have Michael Ayers in, So this will be interesting. He will fall down on the order, but will have yeah, good set of tires. Let's see what he will use. Yeah, he will go for the red tires. Also, Pascal Smith in, so he will not lose the place to Pascal Smith. But where will Michael S go back to? Yeah, this will be quite difficult. Yeah, Michael S now in P10, so only P10 for Michael S, but he will now have like he will now be lightning, and let's see if he can improve and pass some yeah, get some positions back. What also is very interesting now is that Jukka-Pekka Lalu is yeah, still a bit slower, but I believe Martin Hemmingsen is getting closer and closer to Jukka-Pekka Lalu. Can Martin Hemmingsen, can he steal that final podium spot away from Jukka-Pekka Lalu? Or will Jukka-Pekka Lalu have the chance to still score that podium for Royal Blue? If Royal Blue can do that, then they will be so happy. I know the team and the managers, that's where they live for. But yeah, Martin Hemmingsen looks to be quite fast. But the battle for the lead is now between Matthew Williams and Alessandro Quintai. Can Matthew Williams make it 3 out of 3? That would be something. I believe last year we had a certain driver who won, I believe, the first 10 races. Will we now have 3 out of 3 would be something for Matthew Williams, but also for Team Stax, who didn't win before this season. Actually, had 2 seasons to forget, I would say, with not many highlights. But for that Team Stax, it now looks to be so much better with a beautiful designed car, and and driver and team are on the peak of what's possible. But yeah, Alexander Quintai is still within DRS distance, so yeah, he is the one that could potentially still hold him off, and of course Jukka-Pekka Lalu isn't that far behind. So we had another driver retire, that is Heigo Poom. So the TTF car is now stored in the garage. So sad to see from the driver from Estonia. 2 weeks ago he had engine failure, and now again he is out of the race. Bad luck for him. Just keeping an eye on the current lap times of our late pitcher Michael Ayers, and he's now did a 1:33.377. In comparison, this is around a second to 1.5 seconds, if not more, faster than all guys in front of him. So he's catching them, and yeah, the difference in speed is quite big between Michael and I think the 3-4 cars ahead. But yeah, I believe some commentators said before, like, getting close to a car is one, but passing is quite another. So we will keep inside what he can do. Well, yeah, at the front, Alessandro Quintai is pretty close, but cannot make the overtake done at this moment. Are they both saving tires? Who knows? But Martin Hemmingsen again is now 1 to 2 tenths faster this lap, but if it goes with this pace, then it will not be enough for Martin Hemmingsen to steal that podium position away from Jukka-Pekka Lalu. Michael Ayres again did a 1:33, so he's flying now. So potentially this can also give him an extra point for the fastest lap of the race, which of course he would accept with pride, but yeah, he wants more. And what's possible? I think everything up to P5 could potentially be possible if he can make the overtakes done. But there also is the life of the tire. It ends somewhere, especially when you're really forcing a lot of speed and a lot of percentage out of them. Let's see what he can do, but he looks quite fast. I think on the back straight he will line up for his first victim in Omari Watson. Yeah, and there he passes Omari Watson, so Michael Ayres now in P8. But he can see three drivers in front of him, and they're not that far away, so he knows P5 is, I think, on the cards. And can the other guys, can they stop him? And I fear they can't with the time and tire difference they've got now. Also looking at the fronts, no, still Matthew Williams is leading. And still Jukka-Pekka Lalu the favorite for the third position in the race. Let's see what the last lap of Michael Ayres was. It was 33.9, so that's still quite a bit faster than the guys in front. And I believe we will get another victim in Wopke Hoekstra. I think Michael Ayres will be able to overtake Wopke Hoekstra on the DRS. But this is interesting, Wopke Hoekstra also got DRS, so will that help Wopke Hoekstra to stay out of harm's way? And can he stay ahead? It looks like, at least for this straight, Wopke is far enough ahead, and that is the problem that Michael might be has. He's much faster, but if Wopke can stay in that DRS of who is it, Dino, then he could very well be difficult to overtake. And it looks to be that way because he can't overtake her. Well, at the front, Alessandro Quintai is close. He's really close, but he can't pass Matthew for now. I think it's still a waiting game for those two drivers. They know that if they attack maybe the lap after on this long back straight, they will be passed again. So maybe it's all about saving tires, and then with a few laps to go, try to go all in, and then for Alessandro to go for the overtake, or for Matthew Williams to put in some really good laps so that Alessandro can't overtake. So only a few laps to go. I believe we've got 4 laps left in this race. I believe 4 or 5 actually. Sorry, 5 to go. Sorry. Oh, well, we saw a little bit of a mistake from Matthew Williams into turn 1. He went quite wide. Oh, and Alessandro Quintai is really close. I think. And I also see that Michael Ayres now passed Wopke Hoekstra, and now is lining up yet another victim in Dino Paulini. Can Dino Paulini hold on to his P6? We will see that, but I fear that will be difficult. But like Wopke, Dino might get saved by Matteo Keersmakers if he can receive a DRS from him. So in the end, you just see quite a bit of battles forming. So we try to keep you updated about that. And now Michael S goes for P6. There he is. Brakes and yeah, gets the overtake done. And now he can drive to P5. And he's got a few laps to do so. And yeah, he's nearly 2 seconds behind, so he needs to push quite hard to at least get a chance for that. Matteo is quite a bit ahead, but we shall see if he can make it. Also, judging at the current lap times of Martin Hemberson and Jukka-Pekka Laulu, they are more or less the same. So Jukka-Pekka Laulu seems to be getting that third position in the race, but of course we're not there yet. Well, we're now on the back straight, and we see Matthew Williams playing a bit of games on the back straight and just going to the right part of the track to see if Alessandro Quintana will follow, and that's what Alessandro did. Getting closer and closer. Will we see an attack? Will we see an attack for Alessandro Quintana, or doesn't he have the extra speed to go for another? Or go for overtake? He did it before in the last stint, and then he overtook him. Can he do it again, or will it be 3 out of 3, a 100% well, start finish and start win rate? It will be interesting. They're really close with 3 laps to go, but I think Matthew Williams still. He looks quite sure of himself. It doesn't look like he's in any trouble at the moment. Tire seems to be good, no strange lines. Still the grip of the tires is provided by him, and he can drive it like he wants. And actually now in P6, Michael Ayers is now pretty close to Matteo Keersmakers, and at the back straight, when the DRS flap gets opened, then I think he will go to P5, and then the free stop strategy at least works. Strategy? Or maybe we got I believe a bit of an overtake for the lead. Outside will be inside, and Alessandro Quintana will go for it. They're now next to each other. Alessandro Quintana is now ahead. Can he do it? They turn in. Oh, they turn in and they crash. They crash. Oh, they hit each other. And now there's damage. Oh, and now there's a problem. There's a big problem. And there you get Jukka-Pekka Laulu's getting in there for P3. He's getting P2. Oh, he will lose P2. It's Matthew Williams who lose P2. Oh, no, drama. He wanted to get 75 points. 3 out of 3. And now sees Matthew Williams. Yeah, I needed to go for it, Matthew Williams, and I can understand that, but yeah, it went wrong. And let's see, who was at fault? Yes, I think it's a racing incident. From what I saw, they both kept room, but at the entry of the last corner, there was a bit of a slide from Matthew Williams, and he slided into Alessandro Quintai, and at least that's what I saw, and that's why they touched, and then they got stuck. Of course, the drivers can have a whole different vision of that, but now, will we then see the overtake for Alexander Quintai? But Jukka-Pekka Lalu now is really close. Is there also damage for Alexander Quintai? Is there a problem now? We've got, I believe, 1 or 2 more laps to go. Will there be a problem at the Pescara car as well? Did he sustain that much damage that the car is having big problems, in combination also with the tires that might give a problem? We shall see. See what the lap time tells us. Quite okay. It seems to be that Alessandro Quintai now has got a really big chance on actually getting his first win. We shall see. He's nearly there now, and then it can change from being P2 then to going to win. See how, if he can Matthew Williams, can he stay in P3, or what's his damage? I think so. And there we have him. There is Alessandro Quintai. Now he turns in for the corner, takes the corner, and there he is. And he finishes races, and he wins his first Superleague Lights race. What a finish we've got, with Jukka-Pekka Lalu in P2 and Matthew Williams in P3, with Martin Hamilton in P4 and Michael Ayers in P5. Waiting for the rest, Matteo Keersmakers in P6, with Rob Hoekstra in P7, with Omari Watson now in P8, with Dino Polini P9, Jack Mayer P10, George Whitehouse now in P11, and Pascal Smith 12, with Thomas Harvey P13. First points for Frank Hamming in P14 and P15 for Giuseppe Saracino. So we've got all our point finishers, and Johan Lindberg finishes P16, the worst place you can ever finish here, because that's no points, at least unless somebody else gets a penalty. But yeah, shame for those guys who are finishing outside the top 15. So a very interesting race, and it was quite difficult for me to do all the commentary, because I wish I had like 8 pairs of eyes, because I couldn't see everything what was happening. But Alessandro Quintai wins the race for Pescara AGG. Oh my god, I needed to actually pronounce that right. But first win in this series for the team and for the driver. So I think he will be very happy. Of course, his 1 lap pace was quite good from Alessandro, but getting the win was of course really good. Jukka-Pekka Lalu looked to be in threat, not finishing on the podium, and now he's in P2. That's how racing is. And Matthew Williams P3, I think still a very decent result. Last thing you want is not score any points, and a P3 is still a lot of points. At least he gained on everybody but 2, with Martin Hamilton a very good 4th. And the first points for H6 E-Racing, so also that team is on the board, so well done for that team. I believe also the first points this season for Matteo Keersmakers, with an amazing 6th position. Bob Hoekstra will be very proud to be in P7. Omari Watson with a really good finishing position in P8. And yeah, I think you can see the rest of the standings on your left. And let's see if we got somebody for the interviews. I believe we already got a driver in, and that's Yuka Pekalado. So let's drag him in. And let's see if the driver already is here. Hello, Yuka Pekka.
Hello.
Okay, so P2. I think that's quite an interesting end of the race with those two colliding with I think 2 laps to go. Can you tell us how your race was in general? How was the start and the first few stints? Because we saw you following mid stint. It looked a bit difficult, but in the end, it still looked good, and you looked like to be in control, at least on that third position, which became the second.
Yeah, I mean, obviously everything started on qualifying. I noticed already on the practice that I had a good pace and I had a proper chance. If I just deliver on my best, I can even fight for a pole position. And obviously I managed to get on my last lap of the qualifying the pretty good lap in P2. Then the start was clean, and from then on the first stint was mostly just trying to follow Quinta and trying to save tires, and let's see how the tire will go on. Obviously, I had to, like, we didn't really get a good gaps where we would have like pitted. So obviously we ended up pitting on the same lap, and we didn't get an undercut. Then yeah, on the second stint, there was a Leonov fighting for position, like in my opinion, a little bit too much. I mean, obviously he didn't need to move or anything, but I mean he was on different strategy, one pit stop already behind, and then here's ran the brake too late that he's not even making the corner. So obviously I lost the P2, like net P2 to Williams on that while avoiding that.
Yeah.
So I mean that was not great, and I got, in my opinion, a bit unlucky there. But well, it happens, and we moved on. Then obviously, just in general, like I lost a lot of time in traffic. Uh, Obviously, my setup didn't help for that, but I lost quite a lot of time on traffic just in general. Managed to catch the leaders again before the last pit stop, and
Yeah.
we tried to look for undercut. Once again, we really thought about bidding one lap earlier than what we did, but it would have been too like close. So we ended up extending one more lap, and then obviously even Williams bidded, which is fine. We could have been able to undercut Quinta at least,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I ended up making a mistake on
Yeah.
the out
Yeah,
lap.
yeah. So then in the end, now you've got P2. How much does this for the team morale and just your whole season in general? Because this is by far your best result of the year. Will this give you a boost forward, or do you think like the next few tracks will be maybe a bit less my style, or will this like be a kickstart for the team to like put even more effort and even more good results in? What will this mean for the future?
I mean, I think especially I have looked really like good on race pace on Melbourne and on Bahrain. Uh, and obviously, my teammate Tino has been a little bit slower, but like he has some little bit got unlucky on lap one. He has lot of places there, so obviously that has made it difficult for him. But I think just in general, I said last time after the race uh, to our team boss Matthew Clip that it's only a matter of time when I will get the podium, and it happens right away on the next race.
Yes.
So I mean that's obviously great, but I think just in general, we are here to fight for the podiums, wins.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Dino can get up there as well, and then we can maybe think about challenging even the championships. But I think once the it will be really interesting to see what will happen once the upgrades start to kicking.
Yeah, I fully agree, Jukapaka. So at least I want to thank you that you took your time to at least talk with me, and the viewers could hear from your side of the race. So at least I will at least wish you a lot of luck in the upcoming rounds for you and the team.
Yeah, thank you.
I believe we've got one more guy for the interview, so let's drag him in. It's not Matthew Williams or Alexander Quintai. It's one of the guys that actually did an amazing race. It's Michael Ayres. Hello, Michael. Can you hear me?
Hello.
So, first Superleague Lights race of the season. I think quite an interesting strategy with the 3-stop strategy. But first points with P5, I believe the point for the fastest lap and the first points for the team you drove. Can you tell us how your race was and yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I only got picked up probably less than 24 hours ago, so I didn't really have enough time to kind of develop a strategy and even develop a setup at that point. I just went with what felt good and just kind of went with that. I did have a 2-stop in mind at the start of the race. However, I kind of noticed that the guys in front were a lot quicker than what I expected. So I just thought it was going to be a 3-stop and, kind of just went on the fly with it. However, looking back, I think the 3-stop probably would have worked if I didn't spin. Because I did spin, I think, on my medium stint, and I did lose about 11 seconds because of that.
Yeah, we saw that happening, and we were like, "Oh, this is not good for you," but of course, very good for the other drivers who were battling. So Williams, Quintai, and Lalu. But yeah, we kept following during the race, so it was quite interesting. Now I know this was quite a late deal, and you signed at a very new team. Going forward to upcoming races, are you going to drive more, or is there no deal yet for the future, or is there now a chance you will do more races in this series, or can you tell us?
Yeah, I mean, I am on the market, put it that way, in case anyone is looking for a driver. This was literally just kind of a one-off race. I asked last night, or yesterday, if there was any positions available, and I got snatched up pretty straight away. And it was only as an emergency, so yeah, I am free if anyone is watching and needs a driver.
And could it also be a chance that you will stay at your current team and build something together with that team? Or I think it's too early, but maybe you know more which you want to share, or maybe you don't want to share. But
no, of course, we will probably discuss considering going forward, but it was never on the card, so I don't expect to get a full-time permanent seat. But yeah, we'll discuss it.
Yeah, that's good, and I think the team. I know the team a bit. They're really happy with all those points. I think it was for them. It was really stressing to put a lot of effort in, and then no points, and then in the end, now you helped them getting off the 0 points. So I think they are really happy with it. So thanks, Michael, for being here, and let's hope actually we will meet you here quite often. At least that's what I would like to see. But yeah, that's all up to you, and of course the team that wants to hire you, if that's the case. So yeah, I think we're nearly at the end of the broadcast now, and we had a really good race with quite interesting strategy, some drama at the end, some drama at the beginning, a big crash going into the pits for Ziuminski and Tapper. We saw it all today, but yeah, for the Superleague Lights, the broadcast will end. You shouldn't forget, in 2 days we will be back with the Super League round here in China, round 3. and in 2 weeks we will be back with the 4th round of the Superleague Lights Championship in India. So hopefully we will then have our original commentators back into the commentary booth, and they can then work with 2 of them and see much more than I could in this race. But I thank you all for taking your time to watch this broadcast, and see you soon, speak you soon, and hope you enjoyed it. Bye bye.